Hello, this is Damola Talk Finance. In the episode of today's video, I'll be talking about interest rate inflation and I'll be comparing it with some variables of the economy. Now, before I go into interest rate and inflation, I want to talk about two things, two concepts in economics. It's called fiscal policy and the monetary policy. Fiscal, FICAL, fiscal policy. Fiscal policy is the method used by the government to control and the economy using taxation, using borrowing and spending. So they have fiscal policy that is tended to boost the economy. They have a fiscal policy that is tended to manage the economy using taxation, using borrowing. And monetary policy is also the measure used by the central bank. For instance, the Bank of England, the Federal Reserve of America, or the Central Bank of Nigeria. They use this monetary policy to manage the money supply and demand in the economy. So we have um, expansionary monetary policy. We also have contractionary monetary policy. As the word sounds, expansionary means they want to expand, they don't want to increase the money supply. And contractionary is that they want to reduce the money supply. So they use this to control inflation in the economy. So now let's say what's not inflation? Inflation is the general rise in price of goods and services. So we have much money in the economy. So money supply is in abundance, and that is leading to increase in the price of goods and services. So we have fewer goods, but we have much money available to purchase that goods and services, or the production capacity is not able to match with the level of demand. So because there's shortage in supply and there's high in demand, the price of stuff begin to increase. It's measured by an index called the consumer price index, but let's not go into that. So the government can use monetary policy to control that. So they bring in what we call interest rates. So now here comes the big gist. Now inflation generally it's not good for the economy because it discourages a lot of things. I mean, the cost of production increases and that discourage and reduces profit and all of that. But the government use the interest rate to be able to manage it. So now here is it. For instance, now the Bank of England left the interest rate. I guess people were expecting them to reduce it, but they left the interest rate at about 4.5%. Now this is it. Investment and interest rate work in opposite direction. The simple truth is because when the interest rate is high, it discourages borrowing. It discourages borrowing. So real estate investors, property developers, entrepreneurs are now discouraged to go to the bank to borrow money because the interest that they will be paying on the money that is borrowed is high. You get the point. People want to take a mortgage in the bank. Their mortgage level has increased. So that's the disadvantage of increase in interest rate. Remember, it is the purpose to control inflation. Now, here is it. Now, when they see reduction or they reduce the interest rate, it instigates the entrepreneurs, the investors like you and I, to go to the bank to be able to take money from the bank so that they can be able to invest in the property, develop the property, maybe build a warehouse or build a factory and whatever they want to do to boost economy, right? So when there's lower interest rate, people can easily borrow money. So production begin to take place. You see the property development, the needs for home that is built begin to increase. Production begin to take place. Employment, they start recruiting people. Meaning there will be abundance, refreshment back into the economy. But how do you take advantage when there's a higher inflation, or when there's a higher interest rate, or when there's a lower interest rate? So with a lower interest rate, it means you can take advantage. If you are interested in going into property development, you want to go into property, it means you have an opportunity to get a cheaper mortgage rate. That's the advantage. Also, the advantage for a higher interest rate is in the place of also your investment. Now we have investment like investment savings account, cash ISA, for instance, that have good interest rate. So it means that your money that you are not using, you can actually put it down into a cash ISA. And with a fixed interest rate that is high now, you can be getting good returns for your investment, right? Also, it means that when you save your money, it means you have an opportunity to get a good returns. So this is the reason why sometimes some investors are actually waiting for the right time. But it doesn't mean that the money is idle or the investment money, like Warren Buffett has billions of dollars sitting down idle. It doesn't mean that the money is sitting down idle. If not, inflation is going to wipe out the value of that money. But that money can be kept in a short-term money market, and the money is actually yielding down something for them. So whether the interest rate is high or the interest rate is low, take advantage of the system by doing what is right. Remember, invest when interest rate is low. You can go and take that cheap mortgage. You can borrow the money. When the interest rate is high, you can save the money and you get good returns for your investment, aside other forms of investment that you can do when the interest rate is low. But that's not for this video. All right, if you have any question about investment, business, and finance, reach out to me on Delmar Talk Finance. Cheers, and always stay green. Bye for now.